conversation outside, I appreciate it. Hello. If you could take the conversation in the hall, thank you. Welcome to the Massillon City Council meeting for Monday, May 16th, 2022. We have in attendance with us the following city officials.
Mayor Kathy Catazil-Perry.
Good evening.
Safety Service Director Barb Sylvester.
Present.
Economic Development Director David Maley.
Present.
Chief Counsel Bill Bartos.
Present.
I believe that would be it, Madam President.
Thank you and welcome to everyone that's here this evening. Under number 5 on the agenda is where the public can speak on any topic that does appear on tonight's agenda, and then again under number 17 is where the public can speak on any topic that does not appear on tonight's agenda. I'd like to remind council and the people in the audience, please set your phones to mute, vibrate, or turn them off to alleviate any of the background noise. Roll call.
Kramer.
Present.
Gregg.
Here.
Harvick Smith.
Here.
Kern King.
Here.
Lewis.
Present.
Lombardi.
Here.
Sleuth.
Here.
Sneed.
Here.
And Barrett.
Present.
Roll call of 9 present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. All is president accounted for. Councilman Barrett.
Let everyone please rise and join me in the allegiance and the Lord's Prayer. Thank you. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, now and forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Barrett. Madam Clerk, are the minutes of the previous meeting transcribed and open for public viewing?
Yes, they are. All minutes are posted.
I'm sorry.
All minutes are posted.
Thank you. Are there any corrections or additions to be made?
No, there are not.
Then the minutes stand approved as written. We are at number 5 on the agenda. For anyone from the audience can come forward and speak to any topic that does appear on tonight's agenda. If you wish to do so, please state your name, address, and topic you wish to discuss. And please limit your comments to 4 minutes or less. Seeing none, we'll move into new miscellaneous business.
Yes, we have 2 variance appeals tonight to be read into the record. Janice Thomas, case number 2022-4, is requesting a variance for a cat pen commonly known as a patio. This variance request was denied by the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting on April 28, 2022. And pursuant to Massillon Ordinance number 1129-009, I hereby appeal the decision of the Massillon Board of Zoning Appeals denying the variance regarding the above referenced property rendered on April 28, 2022 in the above referenced matter. Signed, Janice Thomas on May the 11th, 2022. We also have a variance appeal for John Boland, case number 2022-5, requesting a variance to allow an accessory building in front yard and requesting variance to allow a secondary accessory building to be. These variance requests were denied by the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting on April 28, 2022. And Mr. Boland also filed an appeal pursuant to Massillon Ordinance number 1129.09. I hereby appeal the decision of the Massillon Board of Zoning Appeals denying the variances requested regarding the above referenced property rendered on April 28, 2022 in the above referenced matter. These appeals have now been read into the record.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Moving into introduction of ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 77, 2022.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of the 1238 Probation Service Fund for the year ending December 31st, 2022, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, this is the $175,000 appropriation that the court is requesting from the probation fund, service fund. Obviously, as stated previously, this is their funds that they have. I did speak with Judge Eddie Elam today to get clarification as to if there was any specific or special projects. He stated there are no specific special projects that he has lined up at this time, but instead of coming back every $20,000 or $30,000 that he may need as we move through the year, he's just requesting to have it released to him now, so that he was able to use it as projects or needs arise. So I'll open it up for any discussion or questions, I suppose.
Councilman Barrett.
Thank you, Madam President. Is this something that's usual? I don't recall when this happened.
Typically, he would put it in the budget request for this year. However, these funds were not part of his budget request, but I do have to remind everyone, these are his dollars. They're not dollars that we generate. These are dollars that he generates through his own services. And if they're not all spent, they just get rolled right back in at the end of the year, and we would appropriate next year.
Anyone else?
I make a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, bring ordinance number 77-20224 for a vote.
Second by Councilman Gregg. Roll call for suspension.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwick Smith,
Yes.
Herm King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
and Creamer.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Harwick Smith,
Yes.
Herm
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
and Gregg.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 77, 2022 is passed. Ordinance number 78, 2022.
An ordinance making certain appropriation from the unappropriated balance of the 1222 Waste Management Grant Fund for the year ending December 31st, 2022.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, this is an appropriation of $10,500 as part of their grant program. Are there any questions or discussion this evening? Seeing none, I make a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, bringing ordinance number 78-20224 for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call for suspension.
Herm King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
and Harwick Smith.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwick Smith,
Yes.
and Herm King.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 78, 2022 is passed. Resolution number 7, 2022.
A resolution authorizing the city of Massillon, Ohio to form and join a governance structure for Regional 6 pursuant to the One Ohio Memorandum of Understanding and the One Ohio Subdivision Settlement Agreement in the city of Massillon's ongoing opiate litigation. Also authorizing the mayor and/or the director of public service and safety to enter into any necessary agreements and to take any necessary actions to facilitate said process and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, we had a presentation from the law director, Richard, last week on this, and this is our attempt to continue to manage and make sure that we receive any windfall that would come from this particular litigation. Are there any further questions or discussion? none, I make a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, bringing resolution number 7-2022 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call for suspension.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harvey Smith,
Yes.
Hernkane,
Yes.
and Lewis.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Slutes,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harvey Smith,
Yes.
Hernkane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
and Lombardi.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Resolution number 7, 2022 is passed. Madam Clerk, is there any unfinished business?
No, there is not.
Are there any petitions and general communications?
No, there are not.
Are there bills, accounts, and claims?
Yes, we have a bill in the amount of $127 for the May payment on our copier.
Councilman Lewis,
Make a motion to pay the bills.
second by Councilman Gray. Roll call.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harvey Smith,
Yes.
Hernkane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
and Slutes.
Yes.
9 yes to pay the bills.
And Madam Clerk, the clerk will pay the bills and charge them to their proper accounts. Are there any reports of city officials?
Yes, we have the treasurer's report for April 2022, mayor's report for April 2022, and the auditor's report for April 2022.
Councilman Lewis,
Make a motion that we accept the auditor's report.
roll call.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harvey Smith,
Yes.
Hernkane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
and Sneed.
Yes.
9 yes to accept the auditor's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The auditor's report has been accepted. Reports of committees, our next work session.
Do we understand that?
Come on down. Thank you. I'll look up next time. Sorry, Mayor. Thank you, Katie.
Good evening, Madam President, members of council. We have a lot to report to you this evening. An update for Wells Avenue. June 1st is the date that we've been given from ODOT to proceed in the process of renovating Wells Road. So that is a really big piece. We thought it was going to be August, but it is now June 1
Of this year.
of this year. Yes. And they will be beginning to work on the water lines first. June 4th is Impact Massillon, and you all know Impact Massillon. And that is between, it's on McKinley, McKinley to, it's Cleveland from McKinley to Massillon, to Anthony. So that's where the project is going to be this year. And then I'll just pass this out. We have a young group of individuals, you may have seen it on social media. It's called Manners Matter in Massillon. And they are, we were looking for someone to help us take this citywide, and they are the avenue there, and we are catalysts to do that. And so they've joined in, and what we're asking everyone to do in Massillon is to get out in your yard and tidy up your yard. If you need to paint your front door, paint your front door. If you need help, these young people have their email address and a phone number on the flyer, and it's all over social media for residents in the area to ask for help. So it is going to be citywide. Again, as I said, there'll be 4 dumpsters at the city garage, and so we want people to utilize that. Instead of putting them in the neighborhoods and having to monitor each one, they're in the city garage. So there'll be 4 all day on Saturday, June 4th, and we hope that you'll utilize that, and everybody will come out and work together and start to work on their home or their business, either one. But it's going to be something every year that we do on the first Saturday in June.
What will the hours be?
Usually it's 8 to 4. Sometimes different groups. They have different churches plus Massillon Rotary. Sometimes their project is a smaller project, so they might get done at 2 o'clock. But generally, it's around between 8 and 4. Let's see. The Sidewalk Program, I have that with me tonight to give you an update on the Sidewalk Program. We are now at, and this is if everyone that has applied and has given the estimates that wants to execute the contract, we will be at $93,274. We think that's excellent. We're going to have $31,000 remaining, and we're going to come back to you with some legislation for those dollars. So that has been going well. The ARPA funds, the RFQ submissions are done, and that's the request for qualifications. We received those, we completed the evaluation, and we are now in the process of notifying the selected companies or the selected firms that they have been awarded the project. So that is happening now, and the next, and that is 8th Street, 20th Street, 26th Street, SIPO, Sanitary Sewer, and North Erie Canal Burden. So those ARPA funds that we brought to you to go out to bid, they have been awarded. And they're going to go through, again, if you don't recall, design this year, construction next year. This week, later on, we will be opening up bids for our street projects and the catch basins. So we'll report that back to you, how those bids came in. We're hoping that they are not too high and that we can continue to do the work that we have selected to do in the streets and catch basins that we already gave to you. We had a ribbon cutting last week for Frito-Lay. They are now in the Baker Hughes building, if you did not see that in the newspaper or on social media. Right now they're at 25 employees plus, and what will they be doing there? They're going to have a mechanic there to work on the fleet and also have dispatching there as well. So we're really excited in welcoming Frito-Lay to the city. Let's see. Still, we have lots and lots of projects going. I know you were concerned about the hospital last week. We have made contact with the owners of the hospital. The property has been mowed. It looks pretty good now today. But we did send our code, fire, and building department in, as we told you last week, and they did do an assessment of the property, and they have posted notice of violations. So there are some violations that they have to comply with. And I just want to say they worked together and did a great job. So we're excited that they did that. I did want to talk about the income tax, and that's in another folder, so let me pull that out. And then I would like to bring Barb up to give an update as well to you. So let me just give you the income tax. The numbers are coming in good. We're excited about that. That's how we function. I don't know if our community that's listening in, you all know that, but the community that's listening in, that's a big deal for our city, is that the income tax reports. And we watch those. I get to watch those weekly, but I'll give you from May, and these are all in the mayor's reports also, if you didn't know. The total income tax receipts for April 2022 was $2,900,000. It's an increase from last April of about 8%. Year to date, our income tax that was posted through 2022 was $9 million, and that's an increase of 13% from last year. And that's pretty much it. I just think that you need to hear that every so often. The numbers are good, and they're steady. In fact, steady but increasing. And you know, we continually watch for this because you never know when the economy is going to have a downturn. So we always are watching for a downturn and making sure that we're prepared and ready to pivot when that happens. And it will happen again. So I just wanted to give you those updates, and that's really all I have for you. I'm going to bring Barb up, and she can give you an update on the guest building. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
As I had told you that we previously had a meeting on January 13th with the judges in regards to the ADA restrooms and renovations at the Guts building. And the judge even had a new idea to use the garage area of the Guts building. That was the new idea that was brought forward from that meeting. And then it's the council meeting here on November 18th. I informed you that I was meeting with the judges on April the 19th. That Judge Elam had to cancel that meeting that next day in the morning. So we rescheduled for May 10th, which was last Tuesday. And we did meet, and I gave them the drawings, which Dave, thanks Dave, Dave just helped me to pass out to everyone. So I listened to everyone, and I listened to City Council, all of your comments and concerns, and want to do what's best, of course, as we all do for our city residents with the additional restrooms and Judge Elam's idea of the garage area. This is, I think, something that really turned into a much better layout for the accommodations of everybody and everybody that utilizes that building and will utilize and the restrooms. I think we're just a better city that happened to have the Porta Johns, and Massillon's just a better place than that. So we are staying within our budget. Possibly we'll even be under budget, and we are adding more restrooms for the benefit of all of our restrooms. The women's restroom that you see on the drawing will have 5 toilet/stalls. That's an additional 3 toilets and stalls from the original layout. Also have a baby changing station in there for parents. We will have 3 sinks in there, which includes now an additional sink from the original layout. The men's restroom will have 2 toilets/stalls. That's an additional 1 toilet from the previous plan. We'll have 3 urinals, which is an additional urinal from the original plan. And it will also, the men's restroom will also have a baby changing station in it. There will be 2 sinks in there now, which is an additional sink. We also, you'll see in the layout, there's also a secured storage area for any storage that we do need for in that garage. So in addition to that, we'll also be doing the work that needs to be done in the Getz building to bring the Getz building into accessible code compliance. And the single restroom in that building, we will keep there, and we will be making it user-friendly to the disabled. So this will be an additional benefit to the ADA restrooms that we will be constructing. Our timeline is to go out to bid here in mid-June, a few weeks to finalize drawings. And we're going to put a date to receive the bids back by September 16th. Moved it out just a little bit further because of the current conditions going on with contractors, their schedules, and the feasibility of getting the raw materials in that the contractors are needing. So this way then we'll get bids back in September to late September and then process that and begin construction then in mid-October to the beginning of November. So again, it gives us, much more restrooms, definitely more benefits for all of our residents, and we will be compliant with all of the codes and have much better safety and health for our residents.
Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Sylvester? Councilwoman Harwood Smith?
Are the entrances to these restrooms from the outside only?
That's correct. So that will be another
So will they
benefit.
use the for events? Or
That's correct. Yes,
And there'll be no security issues for the Getz building or courts?
that's correct.
That's wonderful.
It is. It's just a much better plan, so.
Yeah.
I guess that's why I appreciate everyone's patience, when many of us all work together, we can have a lot better ideas and work out what's best. But that's a good point.
Councilman Hurricane?
Thank you, Madam President. Mrs. Sylvester, on the guest building, it looks like the only two places that there's going to be some improvements are the door and the restroom. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, but if you see the small box there, it gives you an overall general scope. So that does list everything, and basically the other things that we will be doing is, again, the hardware will change, we'll make the doors, the push handles, rather than the turn handles. So, yes, the entranceway there, the threshold basically going into the entranceway. We've changed the door handles. We're going to be removing, there is a drinking fountain in there that's not compliant, and it's also in the aisleway. So we will be removing the drinking fountain and replacing that with a water bottle dispenser.
And the improvements in the bathroom here, well, I guess, what the cost of these improvements for the guest building itself, the door and all the things in the box and in the bathroom here, do you know what those estimates were just for the ADA compliance part?
About 22,000.
So the majority of the money is going over here to the garage bathroom?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilman Lombardi?
Thank you, President Exton. Mrs. Sylvester, we do have Judge Elam and Judge Victor's blessing on this plan completely.
Yes, we do. We're actually going to be meeting with them tomorrow. We have another meeting scheduled a week later. Again, I have a few things I'll go over with them, a few questions that they had, but everything that we're going to be basically, again, working together and conforming to. There's a portable heater in that garage, and they asked if we could move that into the storage area. That can happen. Habitat, I guess, is inquired about the drinking fountain. They want that. That, of course, we can do. The bottle filter that we're putting in, Judge Elam asked if that could be moved to a certain area. That can be. So I haven't met with them yet because when we were there last Tuesday, we just scheduled it for tomorrow. But I thought I would just give everyone here at council an update too, since I do have an update now. So.
Councilman Gray?
Thank you, Madam President. Ms. Sylvester, I remember in the original design, the original plans, there was calling for removal of a wall, moving of a wall, which raised some concerns regarding the structure and cost and so forth. Is that still taking place in this design?
It's not.
It's not going to be moved?
No, it's not.
So that's going to result in some cost savings, I would assume.
Yeah, well, there was some cost to moving that, but it wasn't a large amount. It was just that was one of the items that Judge Elam did not want the wall to be moved 6 inches.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Barb.
Thank you.
Reports of committees are next. The work session will be Tuesday, May 31st, because of Memorial Day, at 6:30. We're off on the 23rd. Resolutions and requests of council members. Of the calendar. Ordinance number 55, 2022.
Ordinance number 55, 2022 is tabled May 2nd until May 16, 2022. It is an ordinance authorizing the mayor and/or the director of public service and safety of the city of Massillon, Ohio, to enter into a capital improvement community park recreation conservation project pass-through grant agreement with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, ODNR, and declaring an emergency.
Councilwoman Kramer.
Thank you, Madam President. As stated, we did request this to be tabled until this evening to provide administration additional time to look into this. There were multiple concerns, one being the location and the verbiage on the United States Massillon Reservoir Park / So they have requested additional time to complete this request with the verbiage. So I would like, unless anyone has Any questions or concerns? I would like to make a motion to table ordinance number 55-2022 until June 6th to give administration additional time to finalize.
Second by Councilman Snead. Roll call.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Kern King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
and Barrett.
Yes.
9 yes to table ordinance number 55-2022 until Monday, June 6th, 2022.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 55-2022 has been tabled to June 6, 2022. Ordinance number 56-2022.
Ordinance number 56 was tabled May 2nd, 2022 until May 16th. Is an ordinance amending the zoning map of the city of Massillon, Ohio by rezoning certain property from RM1 multiple family residential district to B3 general business district.
Councilman Kramer.
Thank you, Madam President. We had a public hearing this evening. We had Tim Kaufman, AKG Development, present to discuss the plans of this rezoning request. In addition, we did have individuals present from the residential area in that area that were against this zoning request. I do have a question for administration for Dave Maley regarding infrastructure needed for this request. I know it is zoned for zone MR-1 multifamily residential district. The request is to rezone it to B3 general business district. Do we have the infrastructure needed to accommodate this zone request? Or is the city going to have to invest additional dollars to get the required infrastructure needed for this type of request?
Are you talking about sewer?
Sewer
As far as I
and
know,
water.
No, I think we're good. Well, water, that's aqua water. Sewer, I don't think there's any issue with sewer.
So we're good to
We
go, we're
we
not
should
going
be
to have
good to
to.
go. The only thing we probably be looking at once again would be the street light issue, or the traffic light, if the traffic.
And the traffic light would be at the expense of the city for that?
I think the developer will probably take care of that, but that's an issue we discussed during the site plan.
So infrastructure, we're good to go with this zone request
Yeah.
for Starbucks and whatever other type of facility.
Correct.
moving forward. Okay, thank you so much. Any additional questions or comments from council? Seeing none, I would like to bring ordinance number 56-2022 up for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call for suspension.
It's a third reading. It's just for passage.
Oh, I thought. Okay. Roll call for passage.
Gray,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Kern King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
No.
Snead,
No.
Barrett,
Yes.
and Creamer.
No.
So we have 6 yes and 3 no
For passage.
for passage, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 56-2022 has passed. Ordinance number 67-2022.
Ordinance number 67 was tabled May 2nd, 2022 until May 16th, 2022. And it's an ordinance amending and approving the wage scale for City of Massillon Police Department supervisors, specifically the wage differential for the position of captain, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, this is, we've been discussing it now for a couple of months about increasing the differentials for captains over their gold unit. Are there any further questions or discussion this evening? Seeing none, I make a motion to bring ordinance number 67-2022 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Gray. Roll call.
Howard Smith,
No.
Hurricane,
No.
Lewis,
No.
Lombardi,
No.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
No.
Barrett,
No.
Kramer,
No.
and Gray.
No.
One yes, 8 no for passage.
For no passage.
Well,
Against that.
8 no, 1 yes for passage. So it was defeated.
Oh, it wasn't defeated.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, ordinance number 67-2022 has been defeated. Third reading of ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 73-2022.
An ordinance granting the mayor of the city of Massillon, Ohio, a one-time salary increase to $90,000 per year, effective January 1st, 2024, and granting the auditor of the city of Massillon, Ohio, a one-time salary increase to $77,000 per year, effective January 1st, 2024.
Councilman Lewis.
I make a motion that we table ordinance number 73-2022 until January 6th of 2022. June
23?
6th of 2022.
Second by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call.
Hurricane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
No.
Kramer,
Yes.
and Gray.
Yes.
Howard Smith.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 no, table ordinance number 73-2022 until June 6th.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 73-2022 has been tabled until June 6th, 2022. Second reading ordinances and resolutions, we have none. Word number 17 on the agenda, where anyone from the audience can come forward and speak on any topic that did not appear on tonight's agenda. If you wish to do so, please state your name, topic you wish to discuss,
Hi,
name, address, and topic you wish to discuss.
my name is Janice Thomas, and I live at 1234 Tremont Southeast, just up the street, and I'm here, basically.
Could you step up closer to the mic, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
And the reason I'm here is because my request for a variance for my cat enclosure was denied on April 28th by the building department at the hearing they had tonight. So I really don't want to get it destroyed.
Ma'am?
Yes.
She has to record this. If you could really speak up and use your inside voice, it'll be real loud.
Okay, is this better?
Thank you.
Sorry. I have a little bit of a lisp or a speech impediment because I had a stroke. And this is the residual. It's much better than it was several months ago, but my apologies for that. Anyway, I'm very nervous. Let me just say that. But I am requesting a variance for my cat pen. It's commonly known as a catio. I have 13 cats. I know it sounds like a lot to some of you, but I live in front of a very busy road. Tremont Southeast it's a straight shot from 3rd Street up to Hess Boulevard, and it may as well be a freeway. People go 40, 50 miles an hour. When you have cats, I don't know if any of you are cat owners, actually, I mean, pretty much they own us sometimes, but they want outside. They want to be out there. They're always looking at the window, they want to be out chasing a leaf or a squirrel or something. And so they get out sometimes, you know, they get out, they open the door, they run. I've had problems with that over the years, and sometimes I've had to like stop traffic and chase them because they'll go right out into the street. I had 3 that got killed within the last 2 years. The most recent one was Tizzy. She was 3 years old. She was a calico. She was a sweet cat. I took her to Myrtle Beach with me the year before. She died, and she was just a great companion. I went to the grocery store, didn't know she was even out, came home, and she was 2 feet in front of my driveway. I wanted to just run her over without basically caring, you know, and, you know, family pets are part of the family. And so to prevent that from happening to another cat, I got online and I looked and I found a Facebook group called Catio, and they had lots of variations of them, and I found some I liked and thought would work with my landscaping that I have there. I'm on a corner lot. I face the South Sippo driveway. Across from me is a field that belongs to the park, and behind me it goes all the way to the creek. It's a great area for a catio. The east side of my property is where I put the catio. That's one that faces the South Sippo Park. What I did with the help of my son, who's an engineering graduate from Kent State, we designed it using materials that were recommended by the Space Group catio, which were treated posts, treated wood, 2x4s and 4x4 posts. I had actually had 4 pine trees that were dead and dying, the tops were. So I had them cut down as level as possible to 6 feet. And I used that as an outside boundary. And therein lies the problem evidently. Frank Silla, I hope you don't mind if I just call him his first name. Frank does not like that, apparently. Where I ran into a problem is, when I was doing my research, the only people that ever reported that they had a problem was members of a homeowners association or an HOA, that there were restrictions there, and I honestly didn't think that that would be a problem. So anyway, shortly after I put it up, I did get someone come up, I think it was Jeff, or it might have been Jim, from the building department, and tell me that I needed to do it legally and apply for, submit plans and apply, you know, for a permit. So I did that. I came up with the plans and I submitted them to him, and the dimensions of it were, it's 25 feet long. It's 4 feet from the front of my house is where it starts. There isn't a window with a cat, what's that called? Cat door that they go through. He designed the, let me see.
That's the bridge that connects.
Yeah, it's the catwalk.
Catwalk.
Basically, that's what I call it, anyway, catwalk. And this is looking at it from the interior of it. And this is also looking at it from the side. I'm not sure how well you can see this. You can pass them around if you want to see them. I'm interested. So anyway, it is actually, oh sure, great, thank you. This is also what it looks like from that side of my house. These are some samples that I found online on Catio, and I used the same materials. This is one of my kitties on the catwalk. Enjoying herself. And I think that's probably good for now. Anyway, yeah, this is very cluttered. So anyway, the permit was denied. I had to appeal the decision to the zoning board. Of course, before I suffered, I was supposed to submit that paperwork to the zoning board in November, and the day before I was supposed to talk to Frank and get that in. I had a stroke, so I wasn't able to get back to them until last month in April. and that's when I went to the zoning board meeting on the 28th. And basically, what they were recommending is that I make some changes, just basically some changes, like make it smaller or get rid of the trees or cut the trees down, which would really destroy it, basically. I mean, it's held in place, the welded wire is held in place on the trees and the 2x4s and the 4x4s with these little, I'm not sure what they're called, but they're like little tacks. Either they're curved, they're like staples on my kicker, they're actually some kind of nails, I guess. So to take them out, I'd have to destroy the welded wire fence, and it was really expensive. I have about $800 in materials, plus it cost me $1,200 to get the trees topped. So anyway, at the zoning board meeting, they denied it, just wanted me to make some changes, like I said. So I told them, they told me I had this opportunity to appeal to city council, so that's what I'm doing today. One of the things that I thought of, actually, well, this is the border too, this is the bottom.
Sorry, I need a point of clarification. I just want to save us all some time. We're going to actually have to hear this whole case at some point and make a vote, so I just don't want to make you have to go through this twice. That's all.
I see.
That's what I was gonna say, after the hearing, you'll have to go over it again. So,
Okay.
we appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there anyone else from the audience? We like to limit comments to 4 minutes, Janice, and I didn't want to cut you off.
All right, I appreciate that.
Anyone else from the community? She'll get her pictures back. They're coming on this way.
You can.
All right, seeing none, Councilman Barrett,
Make a motion to adjourn.
second by Councilman Lombardi, roll call.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sluse,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harvey Smith,
Yes.
and Herman King.
Yes.
9 yes to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.